live on YouTube. So honored to have our God Sister Jalangi Mataji today with us. Very honored to have you here, Mataji. I think this will be the second session, if I'm not wrong, Mataji.
Yes.
So kind of you to accept that. Usually I reach out to you very late. I don't know why that is, but then you always accept and you take it forward. So devotees, I don't think Mataji needs any introduction, but for those of you who'd like to know, in case you don't know, she's the one who always does the Chinese translations, either on Mayapur TV or for Guru Maharaj, something which our God family should know. She is the first Siksha disciple of Guru Maharaj since from China since 2002. Mataji is a Bhakti Vaibhav, gives wonderful classes on Mayapur TV. I'm sure you all would have seen that. And her biggest desire, that's something which always inspires me. Her biggest desire is to get as many fallen souls as possible and to put them into one garland and offer it to Srila Prabhupada through Guru Maharaj, or through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet through Guru Maharaj. So that's a wonderful desire. I hope and pray that Mataji goes forward on that, which is already doing. Mataji, on behalf of Jayapataka Seshadripuram, we welcome you. And I think we are waiting eagerly to hear about the wonderful topic, seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the instruction of the spiritual master. And I think from fourth canto, like you send me out. So we're waiting to hear, and if possible, towards the end, if you can keep some time for question and answer, that would be nice, Mataji. All over to you, and however you would like to guide us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to thank Anadi Jagannath Prabhuji for your kind invitation. I can get this opportunity to glorify our most beloved Srila Guru Maharaj. And I would also like to thank all your presence. First of all, I would like to seek all your blessings. And now I will start from the auspicious invocation. Om Jnana Timirantasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chaksuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadam Tikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vishabhanu Sute Deve Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukhaṁ karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Putale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Namine Nama Charja Padaya Nita Kripa Pradayane Gaura Kata Damodaya Nagarama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Putale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadya Desha Tarine Hare Krishna. For the past week, actually, I was busily involved in Bhaktivedanta Module 2, final presentation. So I would speak whatever comes to my heart and hope you all forgive me for lack of time preparing. But for the last half an hour, I did some preparation. I did a very short slideshow I would like to share with all of you, because today our topic is about how can we see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the instruction of the spiritual master. So there are some quotes I would like to share with all of you. Please forgive me, there's some technical issues. I will try to open the windows again. Well, at the same time, I think there is a nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 1st chapter, verse 4. Nivirta tarsai rupagiya manat, bhavoshadat chodra manobiramat, ka utama shloka gunanuvadat, puman virajita vinapashugnat. In this verse, it is mentioned that the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to the disciple. And bhava aushud, that means this is the best medicine for the conditioned soul suffering the threefold burning miseries in this material world. And unless one is a pashugna, one is butcher, or one who is a killer of one's own self, otherwise no one would cease hearing such glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I would like to share this beautiful slide so we can see some quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the beginning of our presentation. So today we're going to focus on the topic the topic is seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the instruction of the spiritual master. This is something I would like to share with all of you. So I'm not familiar with all of you, but I do familiar with some of you. Shall I have the honor to have some of you to read this important paragraph for all of us? I would call some devotees' names. So whoever is being called, please read loudly and slowly, and especially give enough emphasis on the important words or sentences. I would first call Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Can you help us to read the first paragraph?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Mataji, unfortunately, the slide is not seen on the screen, Mataji.
Oh, all of you can see?
No, it's
No,
blank.
Mataji.
It's
No,
blank.
Mataji, it's not there.
Oh,
No.
I see. Okay, I will read.
If you can share it once again, please.
Yes, otherwise I try to share it once again. Share screen. I choose this. Can you see now?
Yes, we can see now.
Oh, good. What about now? Can everyone see?
It's just loading up. Just give a minute. Once you put it on slideshow, it goes away, Mataji.
Oh, I see. So I keep like this.
That's better. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's just.
Okay, we do like this. So Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, would you like to read the first paragraph for us?
Yes, Mataji. Instructions from Srimad Bhagavatam. When one becomes serious to follow the mission of the spiritual master, his resolution is tantamount to seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As explained before, this means meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the instruction of the spiritual master. This is technically called Vani Seva, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states in his Bhagavad Gita commentary on the verse Vyavasatmika Buddhir Ekeha Kuru Nandana, Bhagavad Gita 2.41, that one should serve the words of the spiritual master. The disciple must stick to whatever the spiritual master orders. Simply by following on that line, one sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you very much. I would next like to request Aladini Roy Mataji. Would you like to read the next paragraph for all of us? Please read it slowly and clearly.
Yes, Mataji. In conclusion, if a disciple is very serious to execute the mission of the spiritual master, he immediately associates with the Supreme Personality of Godhead by Vani or Vapu. This is the only secret of success in seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead of being eager to see the Lord in some brush of Vrindavana,
Bush of
while at
Vrindavan.
the brush of Vrindavana, while at the same time engaging in sense master, he will
Incense
see the
gratification.
insense gratifications. If one instead sticks to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master, he will see the Supreme Lord without difficulty. SV 4.28.51 purport.
Yes, very wonderful. So we can see the highlighted part. This means meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the instruction of the spiritual master. And also, this is the only secret of success in seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the secret is in following the instruction of the spiritual master. I would like to share one story with all of you. This is a story coming from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 23. The title is in Krishna book and Srimad Bhagavatam is a little bit different, but we can paraphrase it as Krishna's deliverance of the wives of the Brahmanas. And these Brahmanas are also called Viprabharyaya. So the story goes like this. One day, Krishna and the cowherd boys, they were herding the cows. In Srila Jiva Goswami's Gopal Champu, it is mentioned that altogether Krishna has 100 billion cows. And on this particular summer day, noontime, they came to the bank of Jamuna. They just went through the Kamiyavan. At that time, they feel so hungry, but Mother Yashoda's lunch didn't arrive yet. And also because Krishna has a desire to deliver those special devotees, so he chose a special path that all those tall trees can bear different kinds of fruits are left behind. So they have nothing to eat now. What to do? So Krishna induced his cowherd boyfriends to go to the nearby Brahmanas to beg for food. But Krishna also warned them. Krishna said, okay, you have to remember that as beggars, you have to be very humble. So they went. But those Brahmanas, they forgot Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We know in Bhagavad Gita that there's nice instruction. Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. But these Brahmanas, although they are engaged in the Vedic sacrifice, but they forgot their ultimate goal is to perform devotional service to Krishna, is to love Krishna. But they are performing Angirasa Yagya in order to promote themselves to the heavenly planets. So they treated the cowherd boys very badly. They even didn't reply to their request for food. And after that, Krishna told his cowherd boyfriend, saying that you can go to the wives of these Brahmanas, and they are my great devotees. Whatever you ask, they would give you. That even without your asking, you simply mention that I am nearby, they would offer whatever they have to you. And so in Gopal Champu, it is mentioned by Srila Jiva Goswami that those Brahmana's wives, they are so eager to serve Krishna, they immediately collected all the very delicious foodstuffs in their house, and they packed everything, and they immediately ran to meet Krishna and Balaram. It is mentioned that every step they walk, they would ask the cowherd boys how further it will be. We have to imagine every step they want to ask how further it will be. Sometimes I was thinking, are we become so eager to serve Guru Maharaj? How many minutes we have now to hear Guru Maharaj's lectures? How further it will be, we have to go to temple to attend Mangal Arti, or we have to attend some programs. That is some eagerness we have to cultivate, because Guru Maharaj always emphasized our study of the scriptures, especially Srila Prabhupada's books, because this would give us the intelligence and give us the sharpness. We would know that what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And so continue with our slides. And afterwards, these Brahmana's wives, they requested Krishna. They said, we want to stay with you. We already give up everything. Yes, they are surrendered souls. Even their husbands, their brothers, their sons are very much against them. But still, they give up everything. They don't mind to be rejected by the family, by the whole community. They came to Krishna and they said, we know maybe we cannot become your most intimate associates like the gopis, but at least let us stay in the forest so we can always see you. And when in your pastimes, you have some tulasi garlands, and those garlands become dry and fell on your feet, we can pick up those tulasi leaves and put them on our heads. So according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, in this way, they would like to keep a connection with Krishna. But Krishna suggested them to go back home. Let's see what Krishna's instruction to them. So after taking nice prasadam, this is taking nice prasadam with all his cowherd boys. And this one is coming from 10.23.33, Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada. He mentioned, actually, I would like to invite another devotee to read. I would like to have our session more interactive. Any volunteers? First come, first get. Anyone who can unmute yourself and read this for us. Thank
Shall
you.
I try?
Yes, please.
Okay, Mataji, I'll try. Anand Vihari Krishnadas, I'll try.
Okay, we have more. Next devote, and Mataji can read first, and then Prabhu can read.
Okay, okay, Mataji.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.23.33. Our life, property, home, wife, children, house, country, society, and all paraphernalia which are dear to us are expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the central object of love because he gives us all bliss, expanding himself in so many ways according to our different situations, namely bodily, mental, or spiritual. Krishna book, chapter 23, delivering the wives of the Brahmanas.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So here is something we can reflect. Krishna is the central object of love. And in order to love us, he is expanding himself according to our different situations in 3 levels, bodily, mental, and spiritual. Have we ever thinking about our life, property, home, wife, children, house, country, society, and all paraphernalia which are dear to us? This everything are expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can feel from this narration how much Krishna is loving us, how much he wants to give us, and how much he wants us to be back with him. So Prabhuji, would you like to read this? If you can read the Sanskrit, also would be wonderful. And only the translation would also be good. Please unmute yourself.
Sanskrit, let me. Shravana Tarshanat Dhyanan Mai Bhavo Nukirtanta Na Tatha Sani Karsena Pratyatha Tato Grahana. It is by hearing about me, seeing my deity form, meditating upon me, and chanting my names and glories that love for me develops, not by physically proximity. Go back to your homes. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful reading. So here we get the point, we get the instructions. How to develop love for Krishna. Krishna gave 4 instructions. And especially Krishna mentioned it is not be done by physical proximity. So this is the point of our today's sharing. Because for most of us, we can't get the opportunity to be always near to be with Guru Maharaj. And in such condition, in such circumstances, how can we serve Guru Maharaj? How can we develop our love to Krishna? How can we progress in our spiritual life? I believe for some of us, at least for me, like for some years, feel like I don't feel anything. I've been chanting, I have been serving for a long time, but I don't have some kind of like boom, like that kind of inspiration. I just do it like mechanically, and I just do it as my daily routine. But this is something we need to think about. How can we have a breakthrough in our spiritual path of progress? Krishna told us 4 ways. We have to always hear about him. We always have to chant about his name, and his glories. And we have to meditate upon him. And we also need to serve his deity form. This is what Srila Guru Maharaj always instructs us. I'm sure all of us are not, actually we're not feeling that these instructions are like extraordinary. This is almost like the daily instructions by our dear beloved Guru Maharaj to us. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, in the narration about Ambarish Maharaj, it is also mentioned these 4 aspects. Ambarish Maharaj is such a great devotee of the Lord. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayu. His mind is always concentrated, focused on the meditation of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Vachamse Gunanu Varnane. So his words, always using his words to glorify the Lord's names and the Lord's activities and the Lord's personality. Karo Hari Mandira Marjanadishu. He's doing deity service. He's using his 2 hands to cleanse the temple of Lord Krishna. And Shutim Chakara Chuta Satkatodaye. And he always uses his ears. The ears are very important. We see everyone has 2 ears, but we have only 1 mouth, so we should hear more. And we should always be careful about what we're talking about. We don't talk about Vaishnava Aparad, we don't talk about Gramya Katha. We talk only about Krishna Katha. So Ambarish Maharaj always using his ears to hear words spoken by Krishna and about Krishna. So we can find some kind of echo in different parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. Also the echo in the instructions of Srila Guru Maharaj. Because we requested Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu read that paragraph. It is mentioned that this is a real Vani Seva. We have to serve Gurus, the spiritual master's instruction. And in this instruction, we can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the secret. That is the only secret of success. How wonderful it is. Back to our slides. As we know, Guru Maharaj recently had a big health challenge. And in November 21st, he sent a letter to all the disciples and well-wishers. I would like to invite another volunteer to read this section coming from Guru Maharaj's letter. So anyone can just unmute yourself and read.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada wanted that we should have 10,000, 1 million, 10 million acharyas. So we want to spread Krishna consciousness. Simply prepare yourself how to repeat Krishna's instruction very nicely without any malinterpretation. Then in future, suppose you have got now 10,000, we shall expand to 100,000. That is required. Then 100,000 to million and million to 10 millions. Srila Prabhupada lecture Chaitanya Sridhamra Adilila 1.13.6 6th April 1975 Mayapur. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. So this is Srila Prabhupada's desire, and this is also Srila Guru Maharaj's desire. When I was translating for Srila Guru Maharaj's daily APP messages, and also for JPS newsletters, I noticed Guru Maharaj once mentioned, he said, at least he wants to promote 5,000 of his disciples to become gurus. Where this 5,000 gurus coming from? Coming from you, coming from us. Maybe not every one of us become Diksha gurus, but at least we should become Shiksha guru. This is Guru Maharaj's desire. And this is also Srila Prabhupada's desire. And how to fulfill this desire? We need to systematically study Srila Prabhupada's books, because in Srila Prabhupada's books contains everything we need to develop our love for Krishna, and contains everything we need to give this love to other conditioned souls, and also contains everything we need to go back to Godhead, to serve our beloved Sri Krishna, along with all the other eternally liberated devotees. We see the next slide. We would like to invite another devotee to read. Please, someone who didn't read, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanapranam.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, Chapter 45, please distribute books. With the exception of Rameshwara and Tirupati's brief encounters with Prabhupada, none of the book distributors in Los Angeles had any personal exchanges or meeting with their spiritual master, but the closeness of their relationship with him was not dependent on physical proximity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So this illustrates a very important point. Those top book distributors in Srila Prabhupada's time, none of them had any very intimate, close physical proximity with Srila Prabhupada. Then what keeps them to be close with Srila Prabhupada? So we should think, what can we become really close to Srila Guru Maharaj? It's not by physical proximity. It's by how we serve his mission, how we follow his instructions. This is something we need to reflect. This is something we need to think about it. And I would like to share some of my personal experiences with all of you. As you know that Anadi Jagannath Prabhu introduced, I am the translator for the Kashadesh devotees. So during my translation, sometimes I have amazing experiences. In 2020, I was translating for the devotees during Parikrama. And one day we reached Nishinghapali. And that day there's another group, maybe from another, not like Iskcon devotees, from another group of devotees. They already reached Nishinghapali in that temple hall. So they were doing programs. So that day's program was done in the nearby Gauriya Mat. And that because we arrived a little late and there are so many devotees, and that Gauriya Mat temple hall is very small. So the temple is already fully packed. I can't go inside. I could hear very, very vaguely that Gopala Krishna Maharaj is giving Krishna Katha in that place, but I can't hear nicely. And I have this burning desire, and reached one pilgrimage place, I need to immediately start to translate. How I translate? I can't push myself inside. I can't hear anything. I was almost crying. And at that moment, suddenly my mobile, this mobile, start to play Guru Maharaj's voice. Suddenly Guru Maharaj's voice coming from my mobile. And he was talking about the pastime of Nrsimhapali. I'm saying this with confidence because I'm not telling any lies, because at that moment, there are a group of Chinese devotees, Kasha devotees are with me. They see, they are my witness. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch my mobile. It just played Guru Maharaj. He's talking. So I was so happy. And I started to translate. So I told all the devotees, I said, please don't worry. We can hear from His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So I did the translation. And after that, I noticed in that temple room, His Holiness Gopala Krishna Maharaj's lecture just finished. And then they start to play Guru Maharaj's lecture. And I don't know where it comes from. Later, I checked the time that Jayapataka Swami Facebook, the time they posted that. Actually, after Guru Maharaj, like the broadcast in the Parikrama team finished, and then they posted on Facebook. So it's like a miracle where it comes from. This is certainly let me feel if we have a sincere desire to follow the instructions of Srila Guru Maharaj, we could see wonderful, miraculous manifestation of Sri Krishna in our lives. Actually, during that year, there's something interesting happened because I was translating so many things, and also I have to keep going on with the app messages. I'm extremely tired. So one day I decided, tomorrow, I just can't get up. I would allow myself to sleep 1 more hour and I don't go for parikram. Because I have to translate morning class and also evening class, and during the day, some other things. I decided I would sleep. I put my phone on the table. I off the alarm. The next morning, 4 o'clock, someone is calling me through this phone. And amazingly, I find out who is calling me is from my Prabhu's number. And his phone just next to my phone on the same table. And my mother's family was also there. So she gave a comment. She said, Krishna called you. That means Guru Maharaj wants you to go for parikram. So I went. And sometimes, because I need to translate, especially last year, we have major functions like Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja, like World Retreat. Sometimes my record of translation is 9 hours per day, and continuously the record is 7 hours. So I used to use 2 computers and 3 mobiles to translate and broadcast the program and also post on the Facebook. And during that time, computers showing warning, alarm, long time using is too hot, so it is stuck. And then the 3 mobiles, I have to rotate to use them twice to complete 7 hours of program. But I was wondering, computer got stuck, mobile got stuck, but why I am not stuck, still functioning without going to toilet, without eating, without drinking? Then where I get the strength from? Then I realized it's simply because of Srila Guru Maharaj's mercy. Make this worthless soul be engaged in the eternal service under his lotus feet. So when I was doing these services, I'm not in close proximity with Guru Maharaj. I'm far away from him, but I feel he's in my heart. He's right next to me. This is something I like to share with all of you. So maybe you can also take this experience and try to do some experiment with yourself. Coming back to our slides. The next one very important. So who would like to unmute yourself and read it loudly and clearly, please?
Hare Krishna, can I read it, please?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. So if you deposit 1 cent daily, one day, it may become $100. So when you get the $100, you can get the business laughter. So you come here daily, 1 cent, 1 cent. When it will be $100, you will become a devotee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very wonderful. Thank you, Prabhuji. So Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned in this lecture, we have to accumulate 1 cent by 1 cent. And finally, we get $100. That time you get the business, you become the devotee. You can go back to Godhead. I remember a few years ago, either in Srila Prabhupada's appearance day or disappearance day. Anyway, in Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi auditorium, the devotees are playing this video to all of us. And after that, His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu gave a comment. And he was glorifying Srila Prabhupada. He mentioned he tries to follow this instruction. So every day he went for Mangala Arti, then Darshan Arti, then Srimad Bhagavatam class. And then his daily service. At the end of the day, there's Sunday Arti and Bhagavad Gita class. And again, deity worship and reading at night. So he said one day he would consider he could get 1 cent. So 1 year, that means $3.65. And if you accumulate for 10 years, that means $36.50. He said he already accumulated like $70 or $80. And he's still trying. So this is something we should learn. Because in the same lecture, Srila Prabhupada quoted one beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12, verse 11. It is mentioned, idam satam brahma sukhanubhutiya dasam gathanam naradaivatena maya shitanam paradarakena sakam, along with Vidyakruhu enjoyed Kritapumnya Pamjaha, all these boys who had accumulated the results of life after life of pious activities. Therefore, they could play as the very intimate associates of Krishna. Because for different people, Krishna may manifest in different ways. For the Gyanis, Krishna is like Brahman. And for ordinary people, Krishna is just like another ordinary child. For the devotees, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But for all these cowherd boys, who can imagine how fortunate they are? Because they got the opportunity to play with Krishna daily, as even Krishna's equals. So it's very interesting. Sometimes the cowherd boys, they saw Krishna doing something wonderful, and they are thinking, oh, maybe Krishna is an incarnation of some demigod. And because we are on the same level of Krishna, so we also must be demigods. This is how intimate their relationship is. So in a similar way, maybe we did some services for 1 day, 10 days. We are reading, like today we read for half an hour, 1 hour. We have been reading for a year. We are not feeling anything, but please continue. How many days you have to accumulate? Like those cowherd boys, Krita Punya Pamjaha. And Punya usually means pious activities, but here Punya means the activities that is pleasing to Krishna, according to Srila Jiva Goswami in his Sandarbha, and also in Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu when talking about the Sakya Ras. So here the Punya means the activities pleasing to Krishna. And what activities are most pleasing to Krishna? Can you guess? Actually, Srila Guru Maharaj revealed this secret to us recently in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, verse 88. In this verse itself, it is mentioned that those who discuss the activities of Lord Krishna are on the highest platform of devotional service. I would like to repeat. So And for those who discuss the activities of Lord Krishna, their devotional service is on the highest platform. Who would like to be situated in the highest platform of devotional service? Raise up your hands. I can see all of you in the gallery view. Jai, Haribo. I could see some of the devotees raise their physical hands. I could see some of the devotees raise their virtual hands. All glories to you, because this is the most glorious activity to do. And this is Srila Prabhupada and also Srila Guru Maharaj. Yes, I see more and more hands coming. Thank you for joining us. So we would really do something to please Srila Guru Maharaj. We would do something really to be connected with him. And by doing this, we can all feel that connection, and we could feel he's right in our hearts. Because when we meditate upon someone, especially a senior devotee, we can get 1% of his good qualities. I had this personal experience. I remember a few years back, I was very much thinking about the aspect of Guru Maharaj's traveling pastimes. I was amazed because I heard sometimes Guru Maharaj would cover 2-3 countries in one single day. How is that possible? And also do the programs at the same time. I was thinking day and night. And then what happened? One day, I was taking airplanes and I touched 4 cities, 2 countries, and also did programs in between. The devotees, they came to the airport. They sent me prasadam. At the same time, we had a sangha at the airport. And I tell them pastime of Guru Maharaj about Krishna, and they feel so enthused. So they, in one place, that is noontime, I got 2.5 hours for transit during the flights. So they took me out of the airport. I said, it's dangerous. Maybe I can't be back on time, but still they insisted. They said, we have a new place. You must visit our place. So we went there. We did a program, and then I just realized everything becomes possible simply by Srila Guru Maharaj's mercy. Impossible. By Srila Prabhupada mentioned, impossible is a word in the Fool's Dictionary. So if we want to have miracles, if we want to have this direct experience, if we want to direct experience the relationship with our spiritual master, and we want to have this direct experience with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, we need to follow Srila Guru Maharaj's instructions up to the letter, up to each alphabet. Then you would see miracle would happen, because Krishna is such a person with his humor, how much you give and how much he decides to reciprocate with you. And if you give 100%, and if Krishna gives you his 100%, please imagine how limited we are, how unlimited he is, then how much benefit, how much mercy you can get. Isn't this wonderful? Back to your slides. So I would request another devotee, please. We need 2 devotees to read each paragraph, please.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can I
Hare
read?
Krishna. Yes, please.
Srila Prabhupada's vision of love. To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can I continue, Mataji? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
please, Prabhuji.
Yeah. To teach and encourage the Sankirtana movement, congregational chanting of the holy name of God as revealed in the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So actually these 2 points, these 2 paragraphs are 2 purposes of Srila Prabhupada's 7 purposes of Iskcon. So we could understand what we should be doing, what we should be preaching, what is our mission. and what kind of movement we are in. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, in the Gopi Gita part, there's a very beautiful verse. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. I'm sorry, Kali Yuga memory, suddenly I forgot, but I could relate the translation of that verse to all of you, that nectar of your words. Here's the gopis, they're talking with Krishna, they're praying to Krishna. They said, my dear Krishna, the nectar of your words and the narration of your activities are the life and the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations transmitted by the sages eradicates one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are spread all over the world and are filled with the spiritual power. So certainly whoever spread the message of Godhead are the most munificent. So from the beautiful verse and from the beautiful translation, we understand the mission of Srila Prabhupada, the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the message of our Srila Guru Maharaj. In this today's world, people have imbalanced value. They are completely engrossed themselves in sense gratification. They forgot the goal of life, just like in the 7th canto, Srila Prahlada Maharaj, he prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev. He said, these people, nate vidu, they don't understand, they don't know. Swartagatim hi Vishnu. They don't know the ultimate goal of life is to go back to Godhead, is to serve Lord Vishnu. And these people, they are doing what? Punah punas charvita charvananam. They are doing the truth. And they are hankering after Maya Sukhaya Bharam Budvahato Vimudham. They're aftering this Maya Sukhaya, the flickering temporary pleasure, and they take a great burden. All their big plans, their development is like big burden on their shoulders, and they're muda, they're simply fools and rascals. And blind people are leading the blind, and then they fell into the ditch. As a result, they have to suffer the threefold of burning miseries in this material world again and again. But we need something else. We need the touch of the spiritual master. Mahiya sampada rajobhishekam. We need the lotus feet, the dust of the pure devotee. But how can we get that dust? Not all of us can come to Mayapur, can go to Guru Maharaj's quarters and taking the dust and put all over our body. And what to do? Because in Guru Maharaj's instructions, inside the instructions from these words emanating from his lotus mouth, there are the dust from his lotus feet and also from the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. And the particle of those dust under the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna would enter into our ears and through our ears coming inside our hearts. And thus we get the seed of bhakti. And then continuously we should water, we should take good care of this seed of bhakti by the process of hearing and chanting. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful verse. It is mentioned, Atapite deva padam bhujadvaya. Prasada leshanugrihita eva hi. Prasada means of mercy. Whose mercy? Lesha, little bit of mercy, a trace of mercy. Anugrihita, favored. So even one, he gets a little trace of the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Janati, Tatvam, he would understand Tatvam, the truth. What kind of truth? Bhagwan Mahimno, he would understand the greatness, the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nachanda ekopi tirambichanvam, not someone who is speculating for years and years, even if he is studying the Vedas. No, because when this is something important, I would like to remind all of us that when we are studying Srila Prabhupada's books, when we are studying the scriptures, we should have the attitude of bhakti. Otherwise, whatever we get maybe we remembered some dry knowledge, but the point of bhakti is lost. We didn't get the taste. Then we cannot reach the ultimate goal. Because there are so many scholars, what they do, yen ye ravandaksha vimukta maninas, twayasta bhavadri shuddha bhutaya, aruhya kritrena parampadam tata, patantyato nadrita yushmad angriyaha. There are some like yogis, some tapasvis, they did a lot of austerities, penances, and they are speculating for years, and they think they're liberated. But because their intelligence is not pure, therefore, they have no regard for Yushmad, Yur, Angriyaha, lotus feet. They have no regard for the Lord's lotus feet. Therefore, they fell down from their imagined position of superiority. This is something we should be careful about. Back to our slides. This is something very encouraging. We need one very enthusiastic devotee to read this for us. Please unmute yourself.
The whole idea is that simply by hearing about the Lord's pastime, one can become one of the associates of the Lord. Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol, thank you, Mataji. Simply by hearing about the Lord's pastimes, we can become one of the associates of the Lord. Isn't this wonderful? Hope all of us can see the hope, great hope. And maybe some devotees would think, well, I have a lot of services. I don't have time. What to do? So we need one more very enthusiastic devotee to read the last slide of tonight for all of us. Please, what if we don't have enough time?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
According to Srila Sanatana Goswami, even one who is only inclined to hear and chant the pastimes of Lord Krishna will achieve spiritual perfection. Many devotees seriously engaged in propagating Krishna consciousness are often so busy that they cannot chant and hear the pastimes of the Lord to their full satisfaction. However, simply by their intense desire to always chant and hear about Lord Krishna, they will achieve spiritual perfection. Of course, as far as possible, one should actually vibrate these transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.60 purport. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So even if we don't have enough time, at least we should have that kind of inclination. Of course, whenever we have time, we should engage us in the real process of hearing and chanting. And also, although today our discussion mainly focused on if we are not in the close physical proximity of Guru Maharaj, what should we do? But when we really get the opportunity, we can be with Guru Maharaj. That time, please don't miss the opportunity. So next, I would like to share one pastime. Actually, it's coming from what I wrote. Sometimes I wrote some notes. And this one I especially shared with His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu. It happens during the lockdown in 2020, summertime. Last night, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj's class was late because he had 2 meetings before the Chaitanya Lila class. Because I sat on the side, so anyone have been in Mayapur, we understand Guru Maharaj on the top, the rooftop of the Lotus building, and his room has 2 sides glasses. So one side is towards the conch building. So usually if I am translating on the spot, then I would be sitting to that side. So because I sat on the side, so I can see his servant typed on the big screen in front of him. The screen is for showing him the text for class. So this is what the text I saw the servants typed. Servant said, "Dear Guru Maharaj, now it is 7:30 p.m. Shall we have dinner first, then class?" I was very much carefully observing everything. I noticed Guru Maharaj saw it. Then what is reaction? He immediately started kirtan. All the servants were in panic. They immediately ran to fix the microphone, camera, computer, etc. for live broadcasting. Guru Maharaj looked tired. As he was doing kirtan, he was yawning at the same time. I believe if he has one fiber of strength left, he would use it to spread Lord Chaitanya's message. He didn't use his strength to say no to his servant. He even didn't bother to wait for the microphone to be set off in front of his mouth. He just directly started. If I didn't sit there and didn't notice the typing on the screen, I would take it as any other class. It's just another class. But since I saw this class and all the other classes now have more importance to me. These are not ordinary classes. These are classes drenched with nectar and great sacrifice. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for your patience. So I would like to invite questions, comments, feedbacks, and corrections from all of you. Hare Krishna. Jai, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. So Anadi Jagannath Prabhuji, now it's up to you how to arrange this session. Please.
First of all, thank you so much for such an enlightening session and so nicely interacting with the devotees, Mataji. We'll keep it open for devotees if they want to share something or they want to ask you something. Devotees, you could either open up your mic, speak, or if you want, you can just type it out there in the chat box. Both should be good. Maji, in the interest of time, as they speak, would you like to share one more pastime?
Yes, I do have one more pastime to share. Yes, this has happened last year, June 8th. So that day I asked Srila Guru Maharaj one question, because that night, Guru Maharaj giving Chaitanya Leela class mentioned Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He left Jagannath Puri. He likes to have a tour. And then at that moment, Gadadhar Pandit was following him all the way. And then when it's near the river, Mahaprabhu just boarded on the boat and Gadadhar Pandit was left behind and he fainted, lost his consciousness. But at this moment, Mahaprabhu even didn't look back at him. So I asked Srila Guru Maharaj, why is that? So Guru Maharaj answered, because for Gadadhar, if Mahaprabhu goes back, he cannot leave. That is their relationship. Their relationship is like that. That if Mahaprabhu goes back, Gadadhar is such a person, he cannot leave. It depends on their relationship, hard to say. And that night, actually, Guru Maharaj said, since I asked a question, so Guru Maharaj would visit Kashadesh devotees first. So we got his merciful Zoom darshan. And that night, actually, after the session finished, all the devotees, Kashadesh, they told me they feel a special sweetness and mercy from Srila Guru Maharaj. And we all feel that Guru Maharaj is so personal and so merciful. The servants constantly says, oh, Guru Maharaj is very late, please, we have gallery view. And the servants told everyone, the Zoom said, Guru Maharaj had a very long day. Even in the chat box, different devotees from all over the world, they said, gallery view, please. And finally, Mahavara Prabhu said, it's already over 10 o'clock. So he started to say, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. Somehow or other, Guru Maharaj had a whole day's meeting and he's extremely tired. And before that, like 7:30 to 9 p.m., he had meeting. And this is a point I would like to point out. Usually, when you get tired, you will show your worst side. Please think, yes, I saw some of the devotees, they nodded their heads. Yes, me too. When I'm tired, I become angry. I become like crazy person, I'm going nuts. But Guru Maharaj is just the opposite. Amazingly, Guru Maharaj is completely exhausted, but he's showing his best part. He's very peaceful, very loving, very gentle. And he had affection towards all the devotees in Zoom. So this is another pastime I would like to share with you. And my realization from this pastime is we can do something. We can dedicate ourselves to Srila Guru Maharaj's service. And in this way, just like Gadadhar Pandit and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we keep Guru Maharaj always in our hearts. Maybe Guru Maharaj would be invisible from our sights, but we perform our devotional service in such a way, and if we follow Guru Maharaj's instructions in such a way, that Guru Maharaj would never leave our hearts. That is the perfection of our life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Wish we have that and keep into our heart. I see a lot of messages on the chat, Mataji. Okay. Everyone is thanking you. Starts up with Lalitangi Mataji. Millions of thanks to you, Mataji, for such an inspiring class, highlighting the glories. Reena Mataji, thanking you for very much for sharing your wonderful realization. Lakshmi Mataji, thanking you for the wonderful class and beautiful slides. And thank you for sharing the beautiful passion, very practical. Hari Hare Krishna Prabhu, apart from typing his notes, he has also sent a thanks to you for the wonderful nectarian session, and also requesting you to accept his obeisances. Amarendra Prabhu also thanks you. Alladini Rai Mataji also sends a thanks to you. Sripada Mataji, Satyam Mataji, Phaneshwari Mataji thanks you and says, what beautiful realization, always keep Guru Maharaj in our hearts. Everyone, I think Balachandra Mataji, Jai Raseshwari Mataji. Oh, see that she's out here. So, Jai Raseshwari Mataji, thank you for being there today. It's hard to get all of you when Guru Maharaj is giving class, and somehow we get all of you today because Guru Maharaj's classes are not there. Of course, we miss that. And Vipin Bihari Prabhu also thanks you. Devotee's last chance to ask a question. Wonderful Jalangi Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. This is Anand Vihari Krishnadas. Please accept my sincere, humble, respectable obeisances on your lotus feet, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you have made the program so simple for us, and you have very rightly said that you just need to just follow the words of Guru Maharaj. Just follow the words of Guru Maharaj. So this was many things, but this is one of the big takeaway. Just don't think anything. Just follow the words of Vani of Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Mataji. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I suddenly remembered one last point to share. So Anadi Jagannath Prabhuji, shall I share if there's no questions?
I don't see a question, so you could share that, Mataji, if it's okay with you.
Yes, I'm just worrying about maybe time is over, so need your permission.
Please be my guest. Sure, Mataji.
As you mentioned that recently Guru Maharaj is not giving evening classes, but from time to time we could hear from Jayapataka Swami Facebook some of his previous lectures. And last night, the lecture, there's one sentence actually struck me very much. It is mentioned that Guru Maharaj said, we should be prepared for all kinds of tests, either before the initiation or after the initiation. That is a refinement of our devotional service. So in line with this sentence, I would like to share like a very brief pastime from Guru Maharaj's class. Because when Guru Maharaj is compiling this Chaitanya book, there's one part mentioning about Dhruva Maharaj's determination. Dhruva Maharaj, he got instructions from his spiritual master, Narada Muni. So he got the mantra from Narada Muni, and Narada Muni asked him to meditate upon Lord Krishna. And this part coming from Chaitanya Mangal. So I would like to share this part with all of you. Dhruva Maharaj, standing on threefold bent form, Dhruva meditated with single-pointed concentration. Taking Indra and the other demigods, Brahma went to test. All the demigods, the major ones, coming to test Dhruva Maharaj. One demigod called aloud into Dhruva's ear, "Dhruva, you will die. Will you come here? Did you come here to die?" Another demigod said, "Dhruva, your father is dead." Another demigod said, "Dhruva, a black snake approaches." Another demigod said, "Dhruva, your mother is dead." Another demigod said, "Dhruva, quickly flee." Another demigod said, "Dhruva, a forest fire approaches." Another demigod said, "Dhruva will die, he will die." We see all the major demigods, what they did to Dhruva. Indra, taking the elephant, pushed its tusk into Dhruva's chest. Then the elephant wrapped its trunk around Dhruva's body, around Dhruva's belly. Vayu, this is wind god, becoming a python, devoured Dhruva. Surya took on the form of tiger and drank Dhruva's blood. With the snake ropes, the demigods bound Dhruva and threw him into a fire. Chandra drowned Dhruva in the Yamuna's waters. What can the bites of 10 million snakes do to a person who keeps Lord Krishna's name on his tongue? No one could break his meditation who was standing on threefold bending form. In the end, Brahma and the demigods fled. So they want to come to test Dhruva, but at the end they all become failed and they have to flee in fear of Dhruva Maharaj. This is something we could take back. We should learn from, because in Srimad Bhagavatam there's another verse, Tatenukam pam susamikshamano bamjan evatma kritam vipakam ritvagvabhubhir vidhadan namaste jivet yo mukti pade sadaya bhak. I'm sure all of you are not like you, all of you are very familiar with this famous verse. So whatever happens in any condition, we just keep our devotional service. We keep doing our devotional service. At least we should pay our respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then we can become successful. Compared with Dhruva Maharaj, compared with Prahlad Maharaj, our test is like nothing. I believe all of you who ever heard Guru Maharaj's previous day's class, when he mentioned about Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Lord Nrsingadev, he especially mentioned that point. Compared with compared with Prahlad Maharaj, whatever we have, the controversial things happened in your life is really like nothing compared with what Arjuna he has to face. Because we always have to remember our goal. Samashrita ye pada palava plavam. Mahat padam punya yasho murari. Pavam budhir. Vatsa padam param padam 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 yadve padam natesham. Our goal is Vaikuntha, is the spiritual world. And we have to take shelter of the abode of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. We are going to the spiritual world. We are not going to stay in this material world where there is danger at every step. And in order to achieve that goal, we need the guidance and instructions of a pure devotee of the Lord. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes, it is mentioned in the 7th chapter, 72th verse. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master told him, "You are a fool, not qualified to study Vedanta philosophy, and therefore you must always chant the holy name of Krishna. This is the essence of all mantras or Vedic hymns." Then what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave comments. He said, "One can become perfectly successful in the mission of his life if he acts exactly according to the words he hears from the mouth of his spiritual master." This acceptance of the words of the spiritual master is called Shrauta Vakya, which indicates that the disciple must carry out the spiritual master's instructions without deviation. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he remarks in this connection that a disciple must accept the words of his spiritual master as his life and soul. Actually, on this aspect, we could have classes for hours and hours. And there are so many instructions on the importance of following the instructions of the spiritual master. And by the way, there's one last point I would like to share with all of you. So we remember all those wives of the Brahmanas, they were told by Krishna, just go home, you do this, and you can develop love for me. So what happened to them? At the end, when they went back home, they were accepted as gurus by their husbands. This is something to prove to us that Audarya Bhava is even higher than the Madhurya Bhava. And this is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message. He's the most magnificent incarnation of Godhead. And what happens in Krishna Lila? According to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the wives of the Brahmanas became Shuklambara Brahmachari. Although he's a beggar, but whenever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing Sankirtan, he was right in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house. Actually, it is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita itself that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Gaya, he got initiation, and when he came back, Shuklambar Brahmachari was the first person to join his Sankirtan movement. He is the first companion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sankirtan movement. And when Mahaprabhu coming back from Gaya, he stayed with Shuklambara Brahmachari. For what purpose? For the purpose of hearing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's activities from him. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
All glories to you, Mataji. Thank you so much. It's wonderful nectarian session.
I'm ending it. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing your wonderful pastimes with us. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much, all the initiated devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Many devotees are thanking you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. All the devotees.
On behalf of Jayapataka, I thank you. And I hope we'll see you, we'll have your association once again sooner. And this time I'll let you know a little in advance so that it doesn't disturb your Bhakti Vedanta.
Actually, I thank you so much. I feel it's like the cream of the cake of my Bhaktivedanta Module 2 study. I consider this like an offering for my whole session because today my study and presentation, everything just completed.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. Thank you, devotees. Do join us again next Thursday, same time, to hear the glorification of Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Very nice to see you all. If any one of you would like to give a throwback Thursday session, glorifying Guru Maharaj, or you want to help us transcribe the class which has happened so far. In fact, we have close to 2 years of classes, and we are actually planning to transcribe it and offer it to Guru Maharaj on his Vyasa Puja this year, so that it's helpful for many devotees. So we are actually looking up, 2 devotees have volunteered for that, but we have a strict timeline. So if any one of you would like to do that, kindly get in touch with me. You can WhatsApp me on 9739006589. That'll be very kind of you all. And do join us again. Vanchikalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you, Anadi Prabhu. Thank you, Anadi Prabhu.
Thank you. Phaneshwari Mataji, nice to see you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Guruji.
Mataji, thank
Hare
you so
Krishna.
much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jalangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Anadi Jagannath Prabhuji. Pranam.
Thank you, Satyam Mataji. Hare Krishna. So inspiring to have you here.
Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So nice seeing all the devotees. It's hard to come off.
Yes, same here. Good to see you all. Hare Krishna. Phaneshwari Mataji, maybe someday you should share the San Diego pastime with Jayanti Mataji and yourself. It'll be nice to hear those wonderful pastimes.
Yes, Prabhu, as you wish. Hare Krishna.
I'll send out a note to you. I note your email ID, so I will just send it out to you and maybe we can touch base.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jalangi Mataji, with your permission, can we end it here?
Yes, please, with your permission. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dandavat.
Dandavat.